Hello, this is David from the Bookman in Orange, and I welcome you to Things Found in Old Books. Well, welcome to the show. Today we have a hoard of stuff. This was brought to us by Wade, who is a bibliophile and a friend of the store. He thought he'd share some stuff with us, and I'm going to turn around and share it with you. First of all, he found this. Kane Park Theater from 1954 in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. They would hand this out at the end in 1954, and what they're asking you is to pick some of your favorite musicals for them to perform in the next season, and they have everything from Anything Goes to Where's Charlie. Now, there's a lot of musicals here to choose from, and I must admit, I'm not up on my musicals, but I know a few. There's like Oklahoma, No Nanette, Paint Your Wagon, and some of these I've never heard of. Hazel Flag, Hit the Deck. But anyway, so they're all here. So you pick your 10 favorites, and they'll figure it out at the end of the season. And at the bottom they say, which shows did you see this summer? And this summer was Gentlemen's Prefer Blondes, High Button Shoes, Wizard of Oz, and Call Me Madame. So those are the shows they had that season. And so we're going to see what's going to come up in the next season. So this is basically the 1954 version of algorithms, figure out what you like and what you want to watch. So that's how they did it back then. And this thing here, it's called the second triennial gathering of the poor family. So let's go over that. Poor, P-O-O-R, and P-O-O-R-E. So the poor family. So I'm assuming it's the same bunch of fellas who just one branch had an E on the end of their name, and the other one has just the good old poor. And so it's every 3 years. That's what triennial means. They have a gathering of all the poor people. So you got introductory remarks by John Poor, prayer by Reverend Daniel Poor, and address of welcome by Major Ben Pearly Poor. So old Pearly Poor, get up there and give his address, And then they have inside, they have a list of things. They have a poem honoring the poor family. 3 men once stood in Newbury on this New England shore, self-exiled to a stranger land. 3 men, and they were poor. So now I'm wondering, were they poor like they had no money, or were they poor because their name was Poor? It's like they're going to be poor one way or the other. So they wrote a poem about it, and they have these different guest speakers, poor people guest speakers, and a hymn that they're going to read. And then they even have an intermission. So during the intermission, you can walk around and shake hands with all the poor people. They're going to have a dinner. It doesn't say what the dinner is going to be, but there's going to be speeches during the dinner. So, and it's all going to be at the Town Hall in Andover, Massachusetts. The Town Hall. And this is from, I don't think I even mentioned the date. This is from 1884. So 1884, Andover, Massachusetts, at the Town Hall. So all you poor people, be there. It's going to be a biggie. And then Wade found this return receipt card. Now, I think they still have return receipt requested kind of thing, where this is from 1937. So somebody filled it out here. So they are going to send a package or a very important document, and you get a return receipt, and they send this back showing that it had been delivered to this particular person. That particular person signed for it back here, got their package, sent it back to Leon, and there's a stamp up there that says Lowell, Massachusetts. So Lowell, Massachusetts, that's where Jack Kerouac was born. So this is from 1937. So Jack was, he was a young kid running around town when this was going through the mails. And So yeah, 1937, return. And finally, Wade found this postcard. Big postcard, New Hampshire. There you go. And on the back it says Photo Lux. That means they just glossed up the black and white, make it look nice and bright. It says 3-cent stamp affixed here, so chances are this is from the 50s. Wade, I want to thank you for bringing that stuff by. I really loved it. I greatly appreciate it. And if anybody else has stuff they'd like to share on the show, just let me know. Good day.